Ignorance isn't bliss. As a Muslim, I was taught that in order to attract God's attention, we must read the Quran in Arabic, even though we could not understand what we were reading. I neither knew the meaning of the verses of the Quran nor anything about Muhammad, the prophet of Islam, or his successors. My parents had no knowledge of Islam. They blindly inherited their beliefs from their forefathers who had been forced to follow Islam. Our parents were expected to pass the legacy of Islam to their children for future generations, and no one was allowed to question that legacy. To be a Sunni or a Shiite had become nothing more than a family tradition rather than a religion of choice. Fortunately, people from both sects in Talesh enjoyed peaceful relationships with each other. Prior to the Islamic Revolution, I had never experienced any religious fighting among the followers of these two sects in my hometown. It was not until after the 1979 revolution that religious beliefs among Taleshis took on a political character, and Shiite leaders, becoming proud of their majority status, began to discriminate against the Sunni minority. Since childhood, we had continually heard verses from the Quran translated into Persian, which stated that Jews and Christians were unclean. It was common to humiliate someone during an argument by calling that person the son of a Jew or a Christian. This was also the attitude of radical Muslim leaders who spread this hatred among the people. They desired to prepare an atmosphere for discrimination and ethnic and religious cleansing. To the shame of Iranians and the cultural tolerance inherited from the ancient kings Cyrus and Darius, this attitude of discrimination is now widespread throughout all of Iran. The war between the Persian culture and Islam has dominated Iran since the invasion and occupation of Arabian Muslims in 633 through 656 AD. There were many times throughout history when the struggle for power between Persia and Islam illustrated the strength of one over the other. However, Iranians were never able to completely rid themselves of the Saudis' hostile culture because of their fearful and sometimes blind obedience to Islam. Belief systems are the strongest and most influential factors that shape the values of a culture. Iranians once tolerated all beliefs. Now it's hard for them to believe that an Iranian can be a Jew or a Christian or a Zoroastrian, or indeed any other religion. I never knew anything about Christianity, Judaism, or any religions beyond Islam and Zoroastrianism, because Islamic religious leaders teach that Islam is the final and perfect religion brought to finish the work of God on earth. It was not for us to question whether a religion or idea could be superior to Islam, so there was no need to read about any other belief system. The call of a Muslim is one of blind obedience. Death is the penalty for believing the superiority of any other book over the Quran. Islam teaches that no one is able to understand the words of a transcendent Allah, and for an ignorant mortal to presume to compare the words of Allah to another religion is an affront to Islam and worthy of the wrath of man and Allah.